Hello scholars, we welcome you to the third International E-Conference of Texila American University. We thank you all your participations. We will make sure that this conference will be the best ever held in the research industry. Here we will be giving all the verticals, all the areas to nurturing the research and other activities to all the global audience. We witnessed a lot of success in previous years. This year we are witnessing more. We have more and more collaborative research activities. Myself Ashish Srivastava, as the Dean of Distance Learning Program at Texila American University. I am focusing one more area which is not untouched but is booming in the world. Global audience is looking after this area. That is Internet of Education, Internet of Everything, which is moving in the terms of Internet of Education. I will try to give you the glimpse of how learning is happening in the current society, how Internet is affecting the real life, our things and our surroundings. The three things are there. The Internet started as the Internet of people, where Internet was working for peoples in terms of data communication, in terms of data creation and data sharing. Now it shifted to Internet of Things, where things itself was creating data, which was distributed to amongst the global audience, amongst the users, common users, to move to the next level. Now things are changing in terms of Internet everything. Here, even not only the things, even people's data and all the processes are communicating together to create a global learning environment. That is known as Internet of Everything. So I will try to give you some importance of the Internet of Everything, where it is used in current education society. So as you know, we are living in the learning society. We are educationalists, we are working for the global audience, and we are totally touched with the technology in all day-to-day activities. Today's education is not only just book-based learning. Education is moving from knowledge transfer model to collaborative, active and self-directed and engaging model. It's not only book-based, it's more and more activity-based learning. So obviously it is helping our students to increase their knowledge and develop their skills, and finally that is a final outcome where the learning can happen and we are living in a learning society. Research shows that students learn by actively engaged in relevant activities. It's not only just the theoretical concept, they should be involved in different kind of activities, and technology is helping them and making it possible to involve them in all related activities. Learners are becoming more adept to using the social networks nowadays. So YouTube, Facebook and Twitter and different messaging and podcasting platforms are there, which is helping them to involve them more in activities. Now learners themselves are creating content. It's not only education providers, even learners themselves are creating the content, which is in turn shareable, and other learners can take advantage of those data. It is not only text information, it can be visual, it could be live animation, it could be any kind of infographics as well. Now people can understand how our brain works, how learning is taking place, which part of brain is taking decision, which part of brain is taking in any kind of influences or all this area. Plus, so in that way the technology is helping them to understand how our brain is working. The different simulation games are playing very significant role to improve and master over all these areas. In a nutshell, I will try to introduce a IOE, that is Internet of Everything, is network connection of people, process, data and things. These four important pillars are there where Internet of Everything is lying behind. And basically it's not only the learning of things, it consists everything. Here we will try to focus all the areas where Internet of Everything is working, and what are the research areas, how it is affecting our current education society, what are the challenges in that. So as I mentioned, Internet of Everything started with the concept of Internet of Things, which was physical object. IoT was the network connection of physical object. There was no human object, but Internet of Everything added next step where even the human persons can be interacting with the help of IoE concepts. So IoT focuses mainly on our sensor networks, and it was only machine communications, but now Internet of Everything is connecting all these things in the terms of context awareness, it's increasing processing of power, our energy independence, all these areas are covering together. So now IoT is becoming IoE. That is a network of networks where billions and even trillions of connections create record opportunities. It's not only objects, now our brains are connecting together in terms of IoE. So as I mentioned, we have 4 components in Internet of Everything, that is people, that's originator, then process, the data and things. These 4 processes combine together to create Internet of Everything. So the main object or main objective of Internet of Everything is to is turning information into action. That's the main thing. It's taking information as a data and providing output into actions. That's a remarkable achievement where our scientist is working. But still, a lot of scope is there. As of now, only 0.6% objects can be converted into IoE, but still a lot of hopes are there. Scientists are working, our researchers are working in this area, and by 2020 we are approaching, we are expecting almost 2 billion of connection should be there for the physical, physical object will be connected through Internet of Everything. It's a lot of dramatic changes has been there. It's a lot of increase has been there. Its cost is reducing, storage cost is reducing, bandwidth is increasing, and cloud and social media is giving all the helping hands, and hardware, software as well as to make Internet of Things happen. So here the thing is, object is talking with each other, not only humans. Now object can talk with each other to transmit the data. So now this object will be, earlier objects were only non-living object, but now it's turning into social network as well. You must use the Facebook tagging and photographs and all these things. So now these objects are working together, the transmitting data. If you see, the mere normal application can recognize your face with your gesture, your hand gesture, your face gesture is recognized. These are parts of or examples of IoT. Now these IoT is now shifting to the IoE, where our emotions can also be taken into consideration, our behavior is also taken into consideration to pull the data, and new learners can learn with those data and make the new information. It's not easy to digest, but if you remember, in past 1 decade, the number of physical items which are connected has exceeded more than the number of people on the earth. It's reached more than 30 billions. The machines are connected with IoT, where all the users, all the physical machines are connected together to give the reliable information. Now we talk about how IoE is used in education. Education is a brain of, we can say the process of all the learning. So how IoE is affecting in education? Our most routine item can now be connected with web, like from morning to our waking from bed till to going to sleeping, all the activity can be recorded. The IoT can record all your activity and predict your next plan of action. It will alarm you, it will warn you, it will suggest you and guide you with what are the actions we should process to move to next level. So a research showed more than 50 billion things will be connected by year 2020. So people will be connected in different ways. Not only that with social network, a lot of other ways will be there where people can interact with each other. But obviously higher education things should be taken into consideration. How the next generation engineers should be there. They should not be only electronical engineer, they should not be only computer science and only mechanical engineer. They should be they should be engineer who can design the next technological system, who can talk with each other, who can give the information, relevant information, they can convert data into information, and predict the future challenges as well. So there are 4 pillars, as I mentioned earlier. These 4 pillars of IU create a need for any education system that imports a new generation of digital citizens. So those 4 pillars I will try to discuss, and before it I will just try to explain you how the current status changed from the future status. Like earlier, the classroom was totally physical attendance was there. The teacher was monitoring the physical attendance. Now the teachers can be scaled and the best quality instruction can be made with any device with the virtual 3D environment, where one teacher can present to the global audience. Globally, one teacher can deliver the lectures. Earlier, teacher was only delivering one-time instruction at one location. Now it is scaled to many locations. Many instructions can be delivered at any time. Earlier it was only static and linear content was there. The content quality was also not so good, and it was low control over the content as well. But now learner can learn at their own pace. The focus can be given more on the knowledge, not on the content. Earlier the instruction was very costly, instruction resources were very costly, and one size were fitting for all. But now user can customize their learning needs, they can customize their content for their requirement. Earlier it was only decision making, ad hoc decision making things or process, but now it's totally data driven, relevant to the current society, current requirement. They can generate their own data and learn the things. Now, how Internet of Everything is having an impact on education? It was never decided earlier. Its history is only 2 decades ago. There was nothing as a terms of Internet of Everything. Now it's dramatically increased, and there is endless of information and data is there, which is moving in the next level of education. In nutshell, we should keep in mind, like, it's nothing but simply IOE is turning information into actions. And why it is required? Because we cannot only rely on a teacher's knowledge and the competencies of teacher, which already is having. We can't rely on that particular teacher skill to teach our learners and all. So we need to have some impressment, some kind of system, a device which a student can bring into the classroom that help them to capture their intelligence as a faster mode. It's not only the teacher intelligence, they can share the knowledge with the peer group and create more and enhance intelligence as well. So here a lot of information will be there. Connectivity is the key things where it's taking place. Data can be produced in personalized learning and targeted to individual needs and learning style as well as the pillars. So we have 4 important things in the Internet of Education: peoples, data, process and things. In a nutshell, I will try to introduce. Peoples who are the students, or they are the learners, not all students, they are learners, or they are totally hyper connected with each other in multiple levels without any hierarchy. They can connect with anyone as in terms of peer collaboration. These are the first criteria, first important stakeholder of IoT principle. Like you can explain that MOOC, flipped classroom, a lot of virtual things are there where people can connect with a global audience at free of cost. No boundary, no setup is required, very basic connectivity. They can connect with the global audience with the help of internet. Across education system, a lot of experts are there. Global audience can, even the top-notch universities can explain, can teach the learners from village people as well within terms of MOOCs and other platforms. It's not only helping students, it's helping the teachers as well for the professional development to fill the knowledge gap. Not only learners, even the virtual teachers are taking place where they can teach the learners in the next level of stage. Next process is the criteria is process. Process plays a very important role in how people and data and things work together. So obviously these are certain guidelines. These guidelines can be used together to create a process where how the people will interact and create the data. And in process we required obviously the connectivity. The people will require connectivity. Those connectivities will be following certain process. Like you can take some examples like earlier attendance tracking system. In a classroom-based system, only physical attendance was monitored, but now in online system we can track their minute-by-minute activity, their locations, their behavior, as well as their learning ability as well. So all these areas we are taking together and making as a process. Next important thing in IOE is data. As things are connected through internet and involving, they will become more intelligent and thereby provide more useful information. Rather than just raw data, their connected things will soon send the high level information back to machines, computers and people for further evaluation and quicker decision making. So data is also helping us to make a proper decision making. Like many, it's moving to grassroots level as well. It's not only high-end computing. In grassroots level itself, we can use those data to decide the behavior and to decide our next plan of actions. As I mentioned, as things connected to internet evolving, they will also become more intelligent, thereby providing more useful information rather than just raw data. The connected things will soon send the high level of information, and learners can also create and contribute the data. They are having their own data. They can share and they can create their own data bank, and those data bank can be shared for the future researches. Even researchers can share their data sets with other around the world, all around the world. It will enhance and extend students' learning experience, authenticating their research through active engagement and other researchers. Not only learners, all other stakeholders can be in contact with the researcher. They are working with them to solve their local and global problems. Last component of IoE is things. Things are obviously the physical items. It may be any items, but with the help of small sensors, we can predict their behavior with all the methods, through voice, through touch, and other capturing of data sensor. Other kinds of mode can be used to collect the information from those things and put it all together. So these were all about the components of IoE. The successful implementation is not so easy. We have certain constraints, we have certain limitations, which the future generation researchers has to take care. First is security, data integrity, and education policies, which is varying depending on countries and all. That may be the challenge, but not hard to crack. That will be the next process. So that was all from my side. I wish you all the best for this third international conference. Hope this conference will give you more insight, more research areas to global audience, and we'll move to next level. All the best.